There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard. It is a beautiful Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. We are here at Hialeah Park. And of course, you can go to the website, HialeahParkCasino.com. Check it out and support. And of course, come on down and enjoy yourselves. We are here in the second floor poker room. And ladies will serve you drinks, food, all kinds of good stuff. While we're here, you can watch all the games. We got TVs everywhere. Got the betting booths there. So any of the races across the country. What was it? I saw that race this weekend. The Pegasus. Yeah, that was a good race, man. That was a good race. Yeah, it was here at Gulfstream. And that horse that just came, was it like number 5 or something? Whatever, it just came out of nowhere, man, and darted in and got the win. That was good. That was good. That was a fun race to watch. So it was, it's the best when you're watching all kinds of stuff and then you switch over for the race and it starts like 30 seconds, a minute after you switch over. That was me. I didn't have to live through, I didn't want to live through the hours of coverage, and I don't care about that stuff. I just want to watch the race. So I was when I tuned in, they were like installing the third horse. So I was like, all right, yeah. Timing is of the essence. Because, in today's world, you just record it. And if you just missed it, you could rewind. You know what I'm saying? So I it was already rolling, and I knew, I wasn't going to miss it. So I kind of timed it perfectly, and I switched over, and it was right when the race was about to start. So that was, when you do that, that is just absolutely the best. Did you go back to watch Alex Honnold? You really? Not at all? So you stayed with the highlights. Okay. All right.
It's kind of like the Titanic, right? You know what happened. He made it, right?
Right. Okay.
Afterwards. But I'm not into the thrill-seeking stuff like that. I don't get into that stuff.
No, I mean, listen, I like to watch it. I have no interest.
I definitely would never do it, but I'm just also not one that,
I mean, one of my bucket list things is go to Nazaré in Portugal. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Just put Nazaré surfing. I want you to just to do that. Okay. That's the place where, you're on these cliffs and they're surfing these waves that are 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 feet. And I like watching surfing. I've always been a fan of surfers. I was a skateboarder as a kid. So, a skateboarder is a wannabe surfer. Okay. It's kind of what it is. It's what we are. Come on. So, because surfers are those are the ultimate badasses. Us skateboarders, we're just kind of hanging out. Even when we're skating in pools and stuff, you know what I'm saying? The round pools. You had to find a round pool back in the day. It was hard because the square pools were like, dude, you can't skateboard in this damn pool. I hated people that built square pools because when they were empty, that's when we were going to hit you up, bro. Anyway, as I digress, I like watching it. So I don't mind watching stuff like that. And I'm dying to go to Nazaré and watch the surfing competitions. I'm going to do it. It's got to be in the next 10 years. I've got to be with the wife there one time to park my ass out there for a day or two and go enjoy it because that is impressive. I've seen it on video a ton. Oh, you watch it on video? You've seen that? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's different places, but Nazaré is like one of the, it could be Bell's Beach. Bell's Beach. No way Bell's Beach is better than, what is it? Wamae or something, bro? From Point Break, that line. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah. That is definitely a cool thing. Don't forget, folks, smash like buttons. You can also hit the notification bell. We appreciate that. If you hit the notification bell, that tells you whenever we go live, whatever time, 10, 11, noon, 2 p.m., 5 p.m., post games, pre games, all kinds of good stuff. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo. At Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. The amazing Ho Yoon. Thank you, sir. I will see you Saturday. Ho Yoon, now, I got to ask you something, bro. What is your favorite restaurant? Because if I'm going to go to your town, let's meet at your favorite restaurant. So you got to tell me your favorite restaurant. Or, if you don't want to pick one, then I got to pick one, but I don't know the Jacksonville area. By the way, anybody that lives in Jacksonville, you can give me suggestions just in case Ho Yoon's a little, nervous about giving a suggestion or whatever. But if you can, Ho Yoon, You got a favorite restaurant? We got to meet somewhere there on Saturday because I'll be there this weekend, freezing my ass off, by the way. I'll be meeting Ocala Joe, too, out there when Lourdes. And I'm going to the John Waite concert. You know, I got to squeeze a whatever trip I go to, I got to, right, 2 or 3 concerts, right? You've been with me when I've done multiple concerts. So, yeah, that's true. Los Angeles, I think I had, was it 4 in Los Angeles or 4 in Seattle? It was one of the 2. 3 in the other, 4 in 1. And Vegas, too. Well, because 3 was Morrissey. 3 was just Morrissey alone. And then I did, yeah. Yeah. I did it. I got to remember the bands. Okay, so in Seattle, I did Paul Weller. What were the other Seattle concerts? Now I'm getting confused. I know I did the in Los Angeles. Oh God. No, I think I saw.
You said you wanted to go see them at this specific venue.
You're right. No.
Something.
Dirty Honey.
That's what the Dirty Honey. Okay.
At LA, I did Dirty Honey in 2 places: the Troubadour and the the Roxy.
Okay.
Okay.
I remember that was,
so
there was one you saw twice, but you wanted to see them specifically at that one location.
Right. So it was the and then it was Dirty Honey twice in LA. And then I know it was.
That was why I was there. I think you went to one more because you.
I may have gone. I may have gone
to one. I believe
I may have gone to one more there in LA, and then I also in Seattle. We did Paul Weller, and I know I did another concert or 2 in Seattle. Now I'm forgetting. It's too many concerts. I mean, I remember them, but I got to remember them in kind of order. Eventually, it will come to me. But yeah, we got to squeeze it in. So we're squeezing in John Waite there in Jacksonville, having some fun. Huh? No, just John Waite. Just John Waite. That's it. That's John Waite. That's it. We come back on Monday. So Monday's show will be, I don't know. I don't know when we'll do the show. I don't know. I doubt we'll do it in the morning. It'll probably be an afternoon show or something like that on Monday. And it's the dead week anyways of the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The good thing is, what I love is tonight we got the Panthers against Utah, right? And I'm watching, I follow George Richards, of course, and David Dwork, some of the guys that do an awesome job of covering the team. And so across my timeline comes George Richards, and it shows, you saw that one too? Barkov, Kulikov, Gadovich, and Nosek all practicing. And you know what I've told you all year, right? All year I've been steadfast on this. Dude, this team is loaded. They'll weather the storm. They'll stay in the mix, and right now they fall back down to number 9 after last night, but they're only 2 points behind where they can just get back in there with a win tonight, and they've got plenty of games. But the good thing is that you just got Kachuk back. You're going to start getting Kulikov back and Gadovich and Nosek, and then eventually Barkov at some point in the playoffs. You're going to get Barkov back. We're going to have some fun here, dude. All we need to do is watch the team get enough victories to get into the playoffs and then make some noise. They were on the road last year. The home, we've talked about this over and over again. Home ice means absolutely nothing in the NHL. Nothing. Home field in football and in baseball and home court and basketball, those things, they have their advantages. In hockey, there is 0 advantage. 0. It's tiresome how many times the road team wins in series in hockey. It means nothing whatsoever. The best team will win the game, and you will not win because your crowd is amazing or anything like that. Hockey, it doesn't mean shit. Just doesn't mean shit. It's just kind of the way it goes, and it's always been like that. And so because of that, you have the perfect team to do those kind of things in the Panthers. So this, for me, is the best drama on television, is watching this season, admiring how they have fought through all these injuries to still stay right there in the mix for the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I think that that's really, really freaking cool. And if we start getting all these guys back, look out, dude. Because there's a lot of points, a lot of toughness, a lot of defense, a lot of offense that is missing from this team. And eventually you'll get it all back, and you'll get it back hopefully in waves as it goes on here in the second half, and you'll be more than ready. And that way, when Barkov comes back, the team should be, humming at that point. So he doesn't have to. He can be the Kachuk from the last 2 years. How about that? That's a very good comparison, actually. Have we had a healthy Kachuk the last 2 years in the playoffs? No. But has he played, and has he contributed, and has he been a factor? Yeah. And so there you go. Has he been the regular superstar that he is? No. That we saw a few years back? No. But he was effective because of everybody else that you have to pay attention to. So Barkov can kind of play that same game where he doesn't have to necessarily be Barkov, but he can be pretty good, you know what I'm saying, overall, and just support the guys. And then that just adds another element. You could stick Barkov like on the third and fourth lines. Just for fun, and it's just and kind of bring him along slowly, you know what I'm saying? And a guy like that is not going to matter. He's not going to have a big ego about that, and you can bring him along slowly. So I think it's a really cool thing. I can't wait for that. So we got that obviously to talk about. By the way, a little bit of a bargain. I don't know. I mean, Seattle opened up at 5.5, and today it's at 4.5. So check the Hard Rock line, and you got 4.5 right now. So if you like, I like Seattle at 5.5. I definitely like them at 4.5. I definitely like them at 4.5. By the way, tomorrow we're going to be at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, baby. It is the destination for incredible Subaru offers. Right now, you can take advantage of major savings going on remaining 2025 models while inventory lasts. Plus, you can enjoy 90 days with no payments, and you can check out the 2025 Premium Forester Hybrid. It's available with 0% financing and a $199 month lease. That is awesome. Make sure you mention our name, Big O. Mention when you get there, hey, Big O sent me. You will get $500 off the purchase of your Subaru, all right? And, of course, always, our program is sponsored by Subaru of Pembroke Pines, where you can save thousands on remaining 2025 models, 90 days, no payments, and, of course, the 2025 Premium Forester Hybrid, like we told you. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you there at 16100 Pines Boulevard, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Yes, sir. Was what? Maiden? No, it wasn't. Oh, no, I think he's saying it because he likes the shirt. That's probably what he's doing. He's probably, whoever's saying it. Oh, NorCal, yeah. It's NorCal. NorCal loves the shirt because he knows this is like the classic. This is like one of the most classic Iron Maiden logos of the early days that they used to structure it this way.
Yeah, no, I just thought he threw it out, and I know you guys were together in Seattle, so I didn't know if that was what he was saying or the shirt. I didn't.
Yeah.
know. So.
No, yeah. I'm sure he's loving the shirt. That's what he's reacting to. Oscar Rojas, I see there in NorCal. Joe Brady, your pick for the Dolphins head coaching job. Yeah, man. I on the show, the headline reads, things for the Dolphins aren't getting easier. And this is what happened today that I think is not an easy thing for the Miami Dolphins. You already have to deal with Mike Vrabel. Okay. And follow me on this. You have to deal with Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel, as you know, proved himself in Tennessee, and he just kind of solidified it all here in New England. So they've got their guy, they've got their quarterback, they've got their franchise, they've got their owner. They're headed in the right direction. The Bills, kind of like New England, are in a transition period, and they went and changed coaches. And as you all know, I'm a big Joe Brady fan because I've watched him go to different places and have success offensively. Wherever he goes, his offensive mind has been an influence from Joe Burrow at LSU and winning a title to going through his different NFL stops. He's always been a really good coach, offensive coach. So after this wacky ass search that you thought, wow, these people lost their minds or whatever, all of a sudden, in a way, it kind of reminds me of the Dolphins. Follow me on this. You went with, Phillip Rivers and all this other crap, and you're like, what are you doing? Who are you bringing in? And then you settled on Joe Brady. And to me, Joe Brady deserves this opportunity. And the key for Joe Brady is building a staff. And so what I tell you why it reminds me of the Dolphins, it's because the Dolphins also did a wacky thing. They wanted to keep McDaniel. When you don't fire him on Black Monday and he comes out in the press conference says, yeah, I'm here. And by the way, I'm also helping in the GM search. He's staying. He was staying, period. End of story. Don't worry. Whatever the Dolphins tell you, it no longer matters because they have no credibility. They're compulsive liars. Okay. So they brought in 3 GMs from San Francisco. And I told you who was going to get the job with him. And then the whole Harbaugh hit the fan shit. And they figured out, oh, wow. And then they got to fire, and then they got to find out because, the last time they went for a Harbaugh, they had a coach in place. They weren't going to do it again. So they fired him. They immediately found out there was no interest. And luckily for them, they had plan C, which was Sully. And it took a weird path, which I talked about. Didn't you do a piece on that? That it took a weird path and it ended up in a logical place. The Bills did the same thing. And so now the thing I like about Brady is he's more proven as an offensive mind and success than half is as a defensive mind. Am I wrong or what? No, right? Joe Brady's proven it all over the place. He's got a national championship, Okay, so the guy has done very well for himself in the NFL and in college. I would have rather had Joe Brady any day of the week and twice on Sundays. I would have been super excited for this, okay? The half one, I'm all right, whatever. I get it because Sully and Half, they know each other, synergy. That's super important. So it makes sense, whatever. Okay, go with it. The key will be for Joe Brady is, can he build a staff? Now, the good thing for Joe Brady is he's popped around. I believe, if you look it up for me, I believe it's 3 NFL teams I think he's been on and a few college teams. So he's been around a few staffs. We'll see if he can put a staff together. Okay? That will be the key. If he can get somebody that can control the defensive side of the ball and have a good special teams coach, and then obviously they got to improve the receivers and all that kind of stuff. What do you got for me? Okay, so what do you got? He's from Pembroke Pines. Saints. Right. Right.
And he was a graduate assistant at Penn State.
And Penn State is the other college. I knew he was at another college. And William and Mary. Hey, dude, William and Mary. You know how many guys started at William and Mary? It's ridiculous how many coaches have gotten their start at William and Mary. That's again not a bad school. It's a small school. It doesn't accomplish any of the big things, but fundamentally, William and Mary has been a part of a lot of coaches' lives and stuff. It's kind of interesting, it really is. William and Mary's got an interesting story. But anyways, as I digress, the key will be for Joe Brady is to build a staff. And so I don't like that the Dolphins now have to deal with Vrabel, and now you're going to have to deal with Joe Brady at the same time. The Jets I don't fear because they're the Jets and, whatever. What? They fired their OC. Yeah, of course. So we'll see how it all breaks down. Maybe Joe Brady's a failure. Who knows? Young head coaches, you never know. But I don't like this for the Dolphins, okay? Because he's got Josh Allen, and now he's got power, and I'm sure he's going to want to get better weapons for him, in the process. Something tells me that draft is going to have some receivers in it, somewhere or another is going to happen because now he's the head coach. So it's going to be very interesting. I do not like this hire for the Bills because I'm kind of jealous, to be quite honest. Okay? I just got to be honest. And by the way, am I being a phony or something? No. I told you I love Joe Brady as one of the candidates for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? I didn't have half as one of my candidates. So I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope Joe Brady's a bust and half is a genius. Crazy. All right. Don't forget, folks, you got to keep it clean with our friends at Moody's Dental. They've got 2 great locations in Dade and Broward County. In Dade, 305-821-0231. In Plantation, 954-692-6825. Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, or cosmetic surgery. Get your smile back. Visit our friends at Moody's Dental. And also follow them on Instagram at moodys.dental. All right. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Tonight, 7 o'clock, Amerant Bank Arena. It is Florida back in action, taking on Utah. Your Panthers, by the way, have won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of 5. They've won 6 of 8. Tonight, the force is with you. It is Star Wars night. Utah, plus 135 on the money line. Florida, minus 160 on the money line. On the hardwood, the Miami Heat will be back in action on Wednesday to take on the Orlando Magic. And Fragile Hero is already listed as out for that contest. He's got rib injuries. The good thing for Fragile Hero is that once he retires from stealing money from the NBA, he'll never have to work again, and he'll never have to put his fragile little body at any kind of risk. So more power to him. Fort Lauderdale United back in action this Saturday against Lexington SC at 7:30 at Beyond Bank Card Field. Get your season tickets. Get your tickets for the weekend. Take the kids. Great field. Great family-like atmosphere and great atmosphere for the kids. FTLUTD.com. We'll be broadcasting next week on the 7th there and hanging out. The coach will join us on Thursday, so we'll have some fun, and we'll talk with the coach on Thursday. Canes, Darian Mensah, and Duke have reached their agreement, so now that dispute is settled. He can move forward and officially sign with the Miami Hurricanes. Expect him and the wide receiver to sign with the Hurricanes. Also, the Titans are going to hire Brian Dable as their OC. Great move for Cam Ward. Cam Ward gets a really good offensive coordinator and a quarterback guy. So I'm happy for Cam Ward in that sense. Latest line for the Super Bowl has Seattle favored by 4.5, down from 5.5. The over and under is 46.5. Seattle minus 230 on the money line. New England is plus 190 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. Big Johnson in the house. Jeff in Long Island. Brian Ratke. Let's see. Stony Stanley, Louis Medina, Skylar Tipton says, got to finish working from home due to a gas leak at the office. I was wondering what I was feeling, a little lightheaded. So you're telling me that True Fin Fan was hanging out at your job? Really? Wow. True Fin Fan. You cleared out an entire office, bro. Poor Skylar. Although maybe Skylar's happy that he's working from home. Maybe, you know what? I think he hired True Fin Fan. I think that's what he did. Yeah, he wanted to be at home. They know each other here from the show. Hey, can you? Yeah, a fart by, not a drive by. It's a fart by. So yeah, I get it. Smart job. Nice job by you, Skyler. I like that. Right. Or he just stands outside, puts it right into the AC, and boom, that's it. We watch. Or they call Frankie. Frankie gives him access to the vents. Yeah, Frankie knows all the vents. So then you get True Fin Fan. You hire Frankie. You have the engineer of the farting, and then but Frankie's smart. He stands away. He sets you up, and then he leaves because he's smart. And so then True Fin Fan does the damage. Skyler, anything for a day home. Anything. Skyler, do it on a Friday so you can get a whole weekend, bro. Long weekend. That would be better. Let's see, what else do we have here? Jake from Palatown is in the house. Jamie Zorea in San Jose. Smash it. Brian Landis, Havana. What else? Yeah, those waves are crazy. They are, bro. They are super impressive. Gus 1388, Kosa, Frigid Tuesday. Yeah, I'm freezing my ass off. Jaybird is in the house for a Taco Tuesday. Yes, sir. Let's see. NorCal says it's 63 and sunny with 100% chance of smoke by 419. Eddie Maiden is the sickest logo ever. That is the tooth. When you speak the tooth, you speak the tooth. And Iron Maiden is the best when it comes to marketing. Juan Rosa, Lisa Rose. Eric is in. Let's see. Troy. Okay. Another small school has produced a lot of coaches. Where our best head coach, John Carroll. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's another one that has a little bit of a history. Also, you are correct, sir. Let's see what else. Forget the Canes. Let's cover FIU football. Just kidding. Hey, listen, I wouldn't mind talking FIU football, dude. I hope they become relevant, and I hope they start winning. I would love that, dude. I have nothing against them. My daughter and my wife graduated from FIU. FIU is a phenomenal school, man. There's a lot of great people in this town graduated and went to FIU. They've got a sick ass. What FAU and FIU have is what UM will never have, dude. Never in a million years. That alumni base. The day that FIU and FAU, if it ever happens, if they ever could wake up and join, and be a real relevant team in a Power 5 or something, their alumni is deep, dude. It's sick. But you have to winning. You have to win. And they've only had FAU's had more moments and actually better seasons overall. And then FIU's had a couple of moments and one or two seasons, but none of them have ever built something into anything. They've never become an App State. Let's put it that way. That's all I'm asking. Go on a run like that. Go on a run like that Central Florida was on a little bit or something. You're gonna need that. And then once FIU or FAU ever do that, they will ignite their alumni base, dude. Their alumni base is crazy. It's just they're not going to go out. This whole thing, when it comes to money, and when it comes to having extra money, and saying, okay, I'm going to entertain myself with this or that, they're so far down on the totem pole because the entertainment value is not there. And they're going to have to up their game drastically in order. But if they ever did, they would get great attendance. They would. They would because of their alumni bases. But so far, they have never been able to really get over that hump. So the discretionary income is not coming to them. It's very little. Friends and family and some fringe. And that's all that they get. All right, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
What up, dog? How you doing?
What up, what up? Yep, just another week. We got Perk going to the Senior Bowl, so he'll be out there. So a little bit more of a chill week, but for me, I'll just keep my eye on any news as the Dolphins are constructing this coaching staff under Jeff Hafley.
Be honest. Are you happy you're not going?
Either way, I like to rack up the points. I like to travel. But yeah, we split up Senior Bowl and Combine. So I go to Combine. He does Senior Bowl. He likes Senior Bowl more actually because he can make a trip to New Orleans out of it. The one time I went, I took an extra night in New Orleans myself. So yeah, that's always a good thing. And I like Indy because it's just a huge NFL convention. Everyone from the NFL is there, and it's a nice compact downtown. That's just good for that type of event.
Do you fly in and out of New Orleans? Is that what you do?
So the one time I did, that's where I flew into and then rented a car, and then was flying back from New Orleans. So that's when I took a night New Orleans and then had the next day, whatever. So
a little trick of the trade, if you can pull it off, you fly into Biloxi and fly out of New Orleans.
Oh yeah, if you're not going to crash in New Orleans before.
You crash in New Orleans on the way back.
On the way back, right.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna when you arrive, you arrive the day before the day of work. So you're and the drive to Biloxi there is really short. It's like 40 minutes, whereas the drive to New Orleans to Mobile is like 2 hours. So it's just if you can get it. You get a one-way into Biloxi and then the one-way back because Biloxi's got a good airport there because they've got all the casinos there, so they've got a lot of people traveling in there because of all the damn casinos, the Hard Rock, the Beau Rivage. They've got they've got several of them. I always go because sometimes they have concerts there, and I like going there to go gamble. I can actually go 40-minute drive and I go gamble for the night.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's actually cool. But that's to me is because it saves you a lot of driving. Is my point,
Right.
And you're really going to use the New Orleans one on the way back because that's what I used to do. I used to leave on Thursday and then I'd party Friday in New Orleans and fly out Saturday morning. Is what I do. That's what I would do. So that spend after working all week in the Senior Bowl, I made sure I'd spend my Friday in New Orleans to have some fun and unwind, dude. Have a hurricane and an O'Brien and a cigar, and then I'm toast city at that point, and then I end up at the Cloverleaf, right? Is that the where the hamburgers are at with the hubcaps?
Ooh, I don't think I know that one.
You don't know that one?
No.
Oh, dude, you go down Bourbon Street, and it's deep before you get to almost the end of it. There's a little restaurant in the corner and it's called the Cloverleaf. I believe it's called the Cloverleaf. It's got like a 4-leaf clover on it, and they cook great hamburgers there. And the guy cooks it with hubcaps that he puts over the thing while it's cooking.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like a classic type of Pepsi, Coke like diner from back in the day. Yeah.
Okay, I've been a few times to New Orleans, but I haven't.
The Clover Grill.
Clover Grill.
That might be it. If it's on Bourbon, and it's called Clover, then that's it. Classic 24/7 diner on Bourbon Street. That's it. Clover Grill, it's called. That's what it's called. Clover Grill. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. After you've had a long night of drinking and screwing around, you go there and you kind of get to straighten up and walk a little straighter back to your hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. End of the night. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. At the end of the night, after an O'Brien and a hurricane and a cigar, dude, I'm toast city at that point. So then I need that burger before I get back to the hotel is what I'm trying to tell you. That's it. That's it with the Coca-Cola sign. That's it. That's the one. That's the one, dude. That is a classic place. All right. Just out of curiosity, are you enjoying the game they're playing right now at defensive coordinator?
I don't know about enjoying, but it's interesting. I mean, I wonder if this has something to do with, because I'm not entirely sure on this aspect of it, is do they need to wait and see, like technically still have Anthony Weaver on staff for
whoa, wait a minute. There's an or? Really? There's an or? That's my point here. We're talking about the team that cheats and goes to talk to Harbaugh behind Sperano's back. We're talking about the team that gets caught trying to go after Brady and Breeze. We're talking about the team that was trying to tank. Do you think at this point already, Half has hired all the main coaches? Do you think he doesn't know who he wants a defensive coordinator? In fact, I'll top it on this. Do you not think that defensive coordinator already knows he has the job, but he can't say anything because they have to wait for Anthony Weaver to be completely out of the Arizona job so they know that they're not going to get compensation? I mean, there is no or, dude. That's why I'm asking if you're entertained, because it's pretty freaking obvious, what's gone on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right, because you go special teams coordinator, you promote from within for your offensive coordinator. Now you're already going down to the position coaches. You got a wide receivers coach. You even have your defensive backs coach without your defensive coordinator yet. Even though Jeff Anthony will be calling.
But he's the defensive guy. If any. Right. He's going to know who he wants at defensive coordinator before he knows who he wants at offensive coordinator or special teams. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, it's a joke. It's what I'm saying. Now, the Dolphins have to play it this way because they should. Why not, dude? There's no rule. And maybe there should be a rule, but there isn't a rule. So it allows you to kind of circumvent it and play this game right now. But I find it funny as hell that you filled everything out. And the position that he knows the most, you haven't hired that guy? Come on, bro. I mean,
you can put 2 and 2 together there.
It's 1 and 1, bro. I mean,
exactly.
It's not even
or 1 and 2 to make a compensatory 3rd round pick.
Yeah. It's just funny. And so what do we know about Weaver in Arizona? Does he really have it? Because I don't think he's in the running for anything else, right?
Yeah, all right, so we got Buffalo crossed off the list. I know he interviewed twice for both the Ravens and Steelers, and then they obviously made their hires in Minter and Mike McCarthy for Pittsburgh. So now you're down to it's Vegas, Arizona, and Cleveland, right? And then
he did the crazy shit for Cleveland?
Oh, well, I'm just saying those are the 3 with openings. Now
but he's only interviewed for one of those, right? Arizona.
Arizona's the one where I have heard the most what do you call it? Like commotion, hoopla, momentum for it. So I don't think he is still like in the running for maybe Cleveland or else Vegas. So I mean it basically comes down to Arizona then at this point.
Yeah, and what do we know? Because obviously the Dolphins are waiting for the same thing so they can announce their defense. Because the second that Weaver announces that they're out of the running, they're going to go announce their defensive coordinator and then end this whole charade. Basically, I mean, because that's kind of what it is. It's a charade that they're playing at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think I'm right there with the Dolphins, just waiting to see what happens. So, not have too much insight on what the Cardinals are thinking, but I think that's just what it comes down to is what Arizona does, and then you find out if you're going to get your compensatory third-round pick or not. I'm not sure how many other finalists there are. What was
Well, for Arizona?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know either. I know that he's in the running for that, and that's the only thing they're waiting for.
Yeah.
From what I know, but I don't know how many different people are in the running for the Arizona job and what they're waiting for. But again, it's just kind of interesting how.
Oh, wasn't Mike LaFleur part of it? Mike, not Matt, the brother.
Maybe I don't know. I really don't. I'm speaking completely from ignorance in that case. I only know that he's in the running for it. He's had the 2 interviews. You got the info for us?
Yeah, it looks like Mike LaFleur,
there you go,
Anthony Campanelli, and Anthony Weaver have all completed second interviews, and it says they're heading toward the downstretch of picking the coach.
So it's between those 3 guys.
I'm guessing. I don't see anybody else.
So there's a 66% chance that a former Dolphin assistant coach gets the job.
And 33% that the Dolphins get compensated.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Out of those 3 guys.
2 defensive guys, 1 offensive.
Yeah, and I would the LaFleur guy would be out for me. It would be between Campanelli and Weaver. That's what I would pick. But that's just me. But whatever, yes.
I'm just asking because I haven't really paid attention. Vance Joseph was a name that was mentioned with them, but since the Broncos weren't, but I haven't heard anybody.
Did he have a second interview too?
Doesn't look like.
No. I think
it looks like those are the 3 that had the second interviews, but they're also been mentioned with Raheem Morris and Vance Joseph.
One key thing is who posted that?
Arizona Central.
Okay. All right. The paper. All right. Cool.
Arizona Republic.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. If it's the paper, then it's a beat writer. Then, yeah. No, I just want to make sure it's not like ML football or some shit like that. It's like, yeah, God. All right. What's okay outside of the staffs? What's the next step that you're expecting? Because there's going to be free agent decisions that are going to have to be made here. I know they're going. And they're finishing up, East, West, and now Senior Bowl coverage and all that stuff. But the draft isn't for a bit. First stage is free agency. Before we could figure out what they want to do with the draft, we got to know what they're going to do with free agency. What's your feeling? What's the plan? What do you think is going to start happening soon?
Yeah, I think first, before you even get into that, then you got to get salary cap compliant. So that's making the decision on Tua, whether it's you can find somehow a trade partner, what that means for what you have to give up in order, how much you have to pay in order to have another team trade for him. If it's a draft pick going somewhere else for salary cap implications. And then if John Eric Sullivan doesn't want to go that route, then you can outright release him pre or post June 1, determine if it's going to be the $99.2 million dead cap hit all this year or have a little bit more of a feasible cap situation for this year, make it 67 million for this season if you do it with a post June 1 designation. So you can do that combined with probably a Tyreek Hill cut, which then facilitates the how much you set yourself back with the Tua dead cap because you do stand to earn or save some money toward the cap with a release of Tyreek Hill. So those are kind of like the top roster moves. To then get yourself salary cap compliant, see if there maybe are some trade partners for some of these veterans that you could find to maybe if you want to stock up on draft picks. Sullivan has been saying that he wants to build through the draft. That's what he's going to be doing at the start of, I don't know if anyone wants to use in the building wants to use the word rebuild, but let's call it what it is. It's going to be a rebuild that he's got to take on here. So I think those are the first couple of moves that you really look for. Right now, they're probably focused on a lot of scouting between Senior Bowl this week. I know it's one of the games, East-West Shrine Bowl, coming up. I believe it might even be tonight, if I'm not mistaken. all these other like national college all-star exhibitions so that they can see some draft prospects, get an idea of what they want to prospects they want to look at once they get into the combine. And once you get through the combine, then you've got a couple of weeks before free agency opens, the new league year. So you want to get salary cap compliant, where right now they stand at more than $30 million over the projected salary cap. At some point between now and then, we'll also get the firm number as well, so that they know exactly what they need to get to.
Yes. By the way, they get no compensation if Weaver goes to defensive coordinator anywhere. It's only head coach. Lateral moves mean nothing. It has to be the upgrade. That's the way it goes. Now, the question that, the frustrating part for me is, I think Chubb gets cut because they got a freebie season. They don't need to be great next year. They need to kind of reload and reshuffle everything and clear salaries. And plus, Chubb is probably not going to be as he's not coming off an injury, so he's coming off leverage now that he played very well coming off of an injury. So a team may want him. So I don't think he needs to negotiate down his salary or anything like that. I think he's going to get released. The frustrating part is there should be 2 draft picks for the Miami Dolphins. Last year, you should have traded Calais Campbell, and this is not hindsight. I said it then, and I said it this year. You should have traded Chubb. Chubb and Tyreek were the ones that you should have traded by the deadline, but once Tyreek blew out his knee, that was done. Keeping Chubb was stupid, and this is 2 years in a row that they hung on to a player that eventually you're not going to keep, and you could have turned it into compensation.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the previous regime too. So
I know
they're fighting for their jobs, so they want to keep some talent around. So yeah, that's the whole thing.
I know, but it's unreal. It's like the Heat. You sit there thinking like this team you got, like you really can compete. And why do you do that? Because a couple of years ago you were the 8th seed, and somehow or another, by a miracle, you made it to the finals. And something like that gives you some kind of, whatever. We have the greatest coach out there. We can always do it. And it's just stupid. You live lying to yourself, basically, is what the Dolphins are doing by doing that, by hanging on to Calais Campbell when you're really not that good, by hanging on to Chubb when you're really not that good and you're just trying to fight for your job. You had already made moves this past year for future picks. Last year, you didn't do that. Last year, you were trying to compete. So you hung on to Campbell. Okay. But this year, you had already made other moves where you brought in an extra 5th rounder, an extra 3rd rounder. Okay. So you picked up 2 picks that you're going to have over the next 2 years. You made future trades. Why didn't you make the future trade for Chubb, dude? Again, to me, none of it made sense. You know what I mean? I have a problem with the Dolphins and the Heat. They don't know when to get off gravy trains, bro. They suck at that. They're horrible at getting off the gravy train. It sucks.
Yeah. Well,
the X thing was the same thing. When he got the 10 interceptions, that's when you had to trade him.
I remember you were all over that one.
Nobody wanted to trade him because they all thought that,
it's hard to see it in that moment, but you did.
It's stupid. The stupid part is to think that, what are you going to get, 10 interceptions every year? No, dude, this guy's always been injured. He's got problems off the field all the time. Unload him now, bro. And these things that these teams do. And now we're going to watch Chubb walk out and you get no compensation. Makes no sense. Just makes no sense. You know what I mean? It's like, look at Tyler Hero now. When Tyler was playing that entire year, I said, trade him. I was going back and forth with Ira on this. Oh, no, trade him. They didn't trade him halfway. They didn't trade him in the offseason. Now here we are again. And now he has no value whatsoever. That's why I want Bam traded now. This is your peak with Bam, bro. If you keep holding on to Bam, then you're going to lose the value. And you're not going anywhere. You got to know when to get off the gravy train with some of these players. And that's been a problem for the Dolphins and for the Miami Heat. Sucks.
Yeah. After Tyreek and Tua, then, you're looking at Chubb. You're looking at Minka probably in that same category. Chubb, you can.
But he's cheap, right? But Minka's cheap to have him for next year, right? At least
for what he does, yeah, because his cap number is actually about half of what Chubb's is. For a player at the same age, who produces. Yeah. Now, I mean, it depends. Does the new regime see the nearly 6 million that they can save from releasing him as more desirable than his own services, as I believe he's about to turn 30 or is 30. I got to check his bio, but around that number, then, it depends.
It makes sense. Makes sense what you're saying. Makes
sense.
sense.
If they got to get to that number, Jason Sanders is another one. They could save 4 with him, and he was injured all season, never played. You could just figure out your kicker situation. You're not tied to him the way, now you're 2 special teams coordinators removed from the last one who had Jason Sanders for a regular season game. And, and obviously you're the new GM and new personnel department removed from Jason Sanders, who's now in his 30s and coming off the hip injury. The 3.9 that you could save by releasing him could be more desirable than just keeping him around. Alec Ingold is another one, but it depends what
the offense. The offense. It really depends on the offense you're going to run.
Yeah. Right. What Slowick wants to do, I was struggling to remember his name. What Bobby Slowick wants to do as he takes over the offense, which he's going to have the keys to the offense with Hafley being a defensive background coach. Slowick,
if his offense is more like offense is more like San Francisco,
right?
Strezlik or whatever the hell that guy's name is, he's a monster.
Juszczyk.
Right, whatever that guy. That guy's a monster, bro. Monster. And people loved him. I was at the Senior Bowl when he was there at that Senior Bowl, and they were big fan. Justin Strezlik, right, or something like that, or
Kyle Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. That's it. That guy is awesome, dude. That guy. They love
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know if they thought he was going to be this good, but that was a buzz then in the Senior Bowl. Like, okay, if you need a fullback, here's one of the guys you get in the third day or whatever. And he's had a massive career, bro. Massive career. Now, I don't know if, Ingles that good. And I'm just saying the role.
He's not on his level.
Yeah, nobody's at his level. But I'm saying the role, if that's what you picture, like in Shula offenses, you always had a fullback. And a fullback that can pass catch. Always. He can block and he can pass catch. You can bet your life on that all the offenses that Shula had, he always had a fullback that can pass, catch, and block. Always. And so it all depends. Now, back in the day, there was more prevalent to have the fullback. Yes. Nowadays, it's not as prevalent. So that's where we don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. And he had a down year for all intents and purposes. Alec Ingold did. So, and he's not a guy that's going to produce much catching the ball out of the backfield. He's going to be a lead blocker type. So, yeah, I mean I think Slowick will be consulted on that one, and there's $3 million to save there if you do move on from Alec Ingold, and then go with still the Shanahan concepts, but maybe now or just go looking for another guy to replace his role. But he's a guy possibly on the chopping block, but he's also a great leader too. So if you do want to instill a culture and a guy who actually comes from Green Bay, like literally is born and raised in Green Bay, and you have your new coach coming from the Packers, your new GM, a longtime Packer. I mean, Ingold would have been a kid growing up in Green Bay when Sullivan was starting out his tenure with the Packers in the front office. So there are some connections there if they are keeping them around. Which, by the way, Slowick also is a Green Bay. He went to high school in Green Bay. Little known. I don't know if little known fact, but more Green Bay connections just popping out of the woodworks.
Yeah, and like you see that, at first when they hired him on Saturday, I was doing a show in the middle of it, and I wasn't sure if there was a connection to it because it didn't look like it at first. And then overall, the other guys that were talked about were obvious connections to him, and they weren't the selection. They were with Slowick, and then you find out that Slowick and him had a short time together. That's the other thing. Slowick was just a quality control coach at that time. So it's not, and a defensive quality control coach, which is kind of odd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, because like, okay, you were together and it was a really short window, a year or two. And then all he was a defensive quality control coach. And now you hired him to be your OC. So it's like, that's quite a, you know, it's quite a trip there. It's quite a journey. And so he must like him overall as a coach. He must respect the crap out of him as a coach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, defensive quality control, while Hafley was coaching DBs. There was a season there. Right. So, I mean, yeah, they had to have worked closely for that season.
Yeah, but you're not
Then he went off.
Yeah, but you're not hiring him for that side of the ball when you.
Oh yeah,
that's my point. That he must really respect his football IQ because he met him on the defensive side, and then he's watched them even have success on the offensive side. That's my point. My point is that he must really like him as a coach overall. Screw the side of the ball that it's on. Is my point.
Yeah, right. So you saw him come up. You saw him develop as a coach, switch sides. And the Slowicks are just, football guys because his brother, Ryan Slowick, also was a defensive assistant coach for the Dolphins this past season too, coaching in the secondary. So, so obviously just overall football knowledge. And let's not forget, Bobby Slowick isn't too far removed from when he was like a hot shot, like rising to the OC ranks for the first time with Houston, and then was being talked about for head coaching jobs in a couple of cycles. And then obviously CJ Stroud took a little bit of a downturn the second year that they were together. And, some of the play calling went awry in Houston. So he had to take a bump down from OC, had a year here with as senior passing game coordinator. And then now back in the OC ranks. So, I respect it for a guy who he's still young as a 38-year-old coach. And then that maybe he took his lumps a little bit first stint as OC, as he was this fast riser that everyone loved. And he'll be able to coach up this Shanahan offense, which is really what Hafley wants that side of the ball to look like, as he's a defensive coach, but he kind of had an idea of just the principles that they wanted on offense of let the O-line go get a push, be physical in the run game, be physical overall as an offense. So you can kind of look like the 49ers do, how Mike McDaniel, when he stuck with the run, how the Dolphins offense was looking when they had that stretch of going to it. So, and it's good for the players who are still here. A lot of the offensive players that aren't being turned over to with the new regime coming in, they're in the same offense, a lot of the same principles, so they'll be able to work under Slowick pretty well, you would imagine.
All right, one more thing before I let you go. Joe Brady just got hired. I definitely wanted him here as that was one of my targets for the Dolphins. They had him on the list, but I guess he didn't make the cut. If he can build a staff, I know he can coach offense. I know he can coach QBs. That's already proven. If he can build a staff, this is a problem for the Dolphins. I mean, they started a wacky search, and I was going to laugh my ass off if they hired like Phillip Rivers or something like that. And I was going to go, okay, this is going to be a mess. But they actually, it's kind of like the Dolphins. The Dolphins started off as a mess. 3 GMs from San Fran, keeping McDaniel. They had one plan. It failed. The Harbaugh thing, that failed. And then they kind of, in a wacky way, they ended up with a more logical approach with John Eric Sullivan and a fresh start instead. And I think the Bills did the same thing, a wacky approach, and they actually ended up with a very logical selection in Joe Brady. Your thoughts on it?
And what a rise for Joe Brady, the product of South Florida, went to Everglades High in Broward, in Miramar. And he goes in first after, he was this hotshot coach when he was with LSU and coaching up Joe Burrow there to that national title. Gets an OC job like that with the Carolina Panthers. Couple years there, didn't go the right way for him to then quickly catapult into the head coaching ranks. All right, he had to go back down to quarterbacks coach. Then just what an end move for him to then, all right, he takes over for Ken Dorsey in a year and a half in there as Ken Dorsey didn't have the offense humming early in that 2023 season. He takes over as OC then. He gets the offense back up and running. They go for a run later that season. Then it turns out Sean McDermott hired the guy, just not only when he was quarterback's coach and then took over for Ken Dorsey, but then hired the guy that would eventually be his own replacement as the Bills eventually moved on from McDermott, and then Brady was right there as the guy that was just rising, and someone who knows Josh Allen well, has worked with him for now, what would that be, like 4 going on 5 years together. So clearly Josh Allen had some input in that room as he was allowed into the process as a franchise quarterback. And then the $1 million question will now be, like with any first-time head coach, like you mentioned, is can he build a staff? Can he get the right guys to lead the defensive side of the ball so that then they can piece together that side, as I think he's going to do very well for Josh Allen and get him back on the right track and stop some of those turnovers, which we know he goes up and down with this as far as when he's not turning the ball over, he's tremendous. And then you have games like he had against Denver where that turnover problem rears its ugly head and you're right back to it with him. So some consistency for him with the coaching aspect, and then you got to get the defense figured out, and then Buffalo could be a real contender again in the near future.
Yeah, not good for Miami. All right, I hope he's a screw up. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, we will catch up on Friday, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. Welton Rayom, Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom. They are the bookend tackles. They know how to get it done. 954-966-4646. Sadly, we have a lot of people dealing with bankruptcy. Don't be ashamed. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. Call them 954-966-4646. Get those creditors off your back. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, personal injury, business owner claims. Call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They have their own adjusters. Remember, if you call the insurance company, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to send their own adjusters. They're working for the insurance company, not for you. Call Welton Rayom instead. Never call the insurance companies. They'll send their adjusters. Their adjusters will find out exactly what you need, what you deserve to get paid, and then Welton Rayom will call the insurance company on your behalf. You never have to deal with the insurance company. That is a beautiful thing. Criminal defense, whatever it is, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Right. By the way, not that it's financial advice, because it's never financial advice. But I think where are we at with the dollar right now? It's at 96.23. It is crashing. The dollar is at the lowest point it's been in 4 years. Pandemic era. Okay. Today, it was announced the Trump family, the American Bitcoin company, they bought $36 million of Bitcoin today. And guess what? American Bitcoin is now the 18th largest Bitcoin treasury company on NASDAQ. They own 5,848 Bitcoin for $514 million. $500 million of Bitcoin the Trump family has. So I've been telling you about Bitcoin for a while. Okay, no matter what you see, well, inflation is sticky and it's going to continue to rise no matter what. They've printed $2.5 trillion in 2025. They added $2.5 trillion to our debt. The dollar's weakening, and in a way, actually, the Trumper tells people about assets because he knows that everything else is crashing. So when you print that kind of money, you devalue your money. And that's where your inflation comes from. Don't kid yourselves. Tariffs and printing money. That's where it comes from. Meanwhile, Kansas, the Senate committee is now preparing to vote on creating a state digital assets reserve for Bitcoin. Tether has launched a USAT, a federally regulated dollar-backed stablecoin. The issuer is Anchorage Digital Bank. So Tether's launching another stablecoin backed by $1. Arizona has a crypto bill that is moving forward. It will allow Arizona to invest up to 10% of state funds into virtual currencies like Bitcoin. The state also in this bill, they will accept Bitcoin in payments for your mortgage and all that. They'd rather you pay in an ascending asset than pay them in $1 in a descending asset. Yeah. Kind of makes sense, right? Give me an ascending asset. Don't give me $1 that's dying. Arizona is advancing a bill to eliminate property taxes on Bitcoin. Hong Kong officially legalizes 0% capital gains tax for Bitcoin and crypto. So it's all there. It's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. Don't get caught up with all the FUD. The good thing is that all the volatility that is going on is creating an opportunity for people to get in right now before it really takes off. And then everything going on in our economy is fueling Bitcoin more and more and more. Okay, and these over-the-counter buys that Michael Saylor does and others, that's going to run out very quickly. And they're going to have to go to the exchanges. And then that's when the supply shock is going to happen, and it's going to be nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So, just telling you, the economy will continue to fade away, and the dollar will continue to crumble, and that will end up empowering assets. And Bitcoin will be the one that will be the lead dog when it's all said and done. Don't forget R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. They're proud sponsors of all of our crypto segments. And you can reach out to them at 305-345-3649. Check out on Instagram, RMC Fisher Island. If you're looking for kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing your terrace, your balcony, flood test report, very important for that, insurance and everything. Plus, if you ever have a flood, condo or second floor in your home, you don't want that water to go to your neighbors. You don't want it to go to your first floor or anything. That's what a flood test report is all about. It traps the water, and then it allows it to drain. They do a great job of that. Impact windows and door installations, bathroom upgrades, all of that, man. You do it right, it saves you money in the long run, especially when you're waterproofing your terrace, your balcony, and the flood test report and all those kind of things. Call R&M Contractors. They know how to get it done. In Dade and Broward, 305-345-3649. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little University of Miami. It looks like they got their quarterback. Manny Navarro tells us in our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you feeling, baby? Feeling good?
Feeling good, just eager to get all this Darian Mensah stuff done and over with, man. It's been hanging over for like a week now, and happy
it's
that
over, right?
It's over, right?
Yeah. I mean,
well,
we're just waiting for the I's to get dotted and the T's to get crossed now, right? Right?
Yeah, for all intent and purposes, that's really what's happening. Is he's on campus now, along with Cooper Barcade, the receiver from Duke, and I think both of them are there basically trying to just wrap up whatever's needed now that the other stuff is over and done with in terms of the
because all that stuff is negotiated anyways already. They've already negotiated their deals and their money and all that. It's just a matter of getting your ass over and signing and making everything official, I would imagine. And then looking over all and making sure the agents and lawyers look over all the dotted I's and crossed T's, especially after their experience with Duke. They will probably also take a nice hard look at everything that's there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think now that the expectation is, what does Duke do next, right? Do they come after Miami for tampering or tortious interference the same way Wisconsin did? I think this is the new era of college football where you have lawsuits and BS going on. But look, the bottom line here is Mensa's free.
Did Tulane go after Duke for taking Mensa?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm just checking.
No, I get it. Listen, and Duke got their money, but who knows what they want to do next in terms of trying to go after Miami. There's a lot of people not happy with the Hurricanes because they've taken some good players away from others, but it's the game. Everybody's doing it now, man. It's the way things are. You like
you
guys
and I have talked
roster
about this. We talked about this for years. If you make the place sexy again, this is what happens.
Absolutely. It's the new wave, man. It's the way the world is.
A couple of years ago, Darian Mensah would have looked at you and said, "Oh, screw you guys. I'm not going there. Why am I going to go there?" But now he looks at it and go, well, they were in the national championship and Cam Ward was in the Heisman Trophy race. And so if I go there and I got one of the best receivers, plus I'm taking my best receiver with me, man, I'm going to feel pretty good with that running game, that offensive line. I can smoke a cigar back there. I mean, here's the thing, and not for nothing, but I think the Canes improved at quarterback. I'm talking about this guy's better than Beck.
Yeah, I filed the story earlier today, and it'll run, I guess, once everything becomes official. But you just look at the numbers across the board for Mensah. 6 interceptions this season, 34 touchdowns. That's half the number of interceptions, and he threw more passes than Carson Beck did. Beck threw 12 picks and threw for more yards than him in 2 fewer games. So statistically, across the board, Mensah's the better player. The only thing Beck has him on is completion percentage. So bottom line,
give him Miami's line, and we'll see what Darian Mensah can complete. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like Tua Tagovailoa completing passes behind no line, which is actually impressive. I'm not as impressed when Carson Beck had the most time of any quarterback in college football to throw the ball, dude. I mean, I'm not impressed. I mean, I expect Darian Mensah to really, cash in on that. He may put up better numbers than he put up this past year.
Oh, for sure. And I think, look at the wide receiver room and what Miami has brought in there with Malachi Toney, the fact that they're going to have balance with a running game. He can throw off a play action. I mean, this offense is really, I think, going to be the strength next year when you look at, some of the guys on defense that have to obviously be replaced. They've done a good job addressing some of those needs. They went out and got 3 Power 6 starters, but the bottom line is the offense is going to be upgraded, and it's going to be exciting to see what Miami could do, because I think that was the limitation this year, right? The feeling was this offense can't really get cranked up the way that it did under Cam Ward. And now it feels like, yes, you're losing a bunch of guys on the offensive line, but the reality is you got more playmakers. You got a quarterback who's a 2-year starter who's put up huge numbers. I think there's no excuse for this offense not to be better.
I'm with you there. Schedule's out, and you and I have talked about this schedule. Last year, you failed in the regular season because you lost 2 games. Maybe 1 would have been acceptable. Now we know the talent you had. You really shouldn't have lost any games, and that's what I'm going to say about your season this year. Your only tough game is at Notre Dame. You better run the table, is what I say. You better run the table this year. And by the way, Notre Dame is going to want revenge badly, because that loss is what really stung them the entire year and throughout the offseason, because if they don't lose to Miami, they're in. And now that they lost to Miami, they actually gave credit for the head-to-head, which is amazing in itself. So that game, there's going to be a lot on the line, because that team's going to want some revenge from last year. So to me, if I'm the way I look at it, don't give the committee any excuses or any reasons to doubt you. Run the damn table.
Yeah, I think, the best thing about the schedule is that trip out to California doesn't come like in the 5th or 6th week of the season when you're coming off of like another game against somebody who's really good. You're getting the California trip out of the ways, and you start it, you start the season there on a Friday night. Obviously, I know people get nervous about having to play a West Coast game and body clock and all that, but the fact that it's the first game, I think, takes some of the pressure off. It's not in the middle of the season. You look at the way everything shapes up. You get Clemson on the road to start the month of October. That's a very winnable game. We don't even know who their quarterback is going to be. They didn't go out and get anybody in the portal, so they've lost guys to the draft. That's not a usual
He's
Clemson
such
thing.
a whiny bitch, that Dabo Swinger. Jesus Christ. What a whiny bitch, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you've had so many advantages over time, and now that, I don't know if you don't want to exercise it or whatever it is, whatever excuse it is. I mean, Jesus, bro, the game's changed. That's just the way it is. You don't want to adjust. That's your problem.
For sure. I look, the schedule is very favorable. The Notre Dame game is obviously the big test, but I would say the other game that kind of piques my interest a little bit is the Virginia Tech game, next to last game of the regular season at home. We know Virginia Tech always gets up for Miami. Even this year over there in Blacksburg, right? Miami kind of needed that extra touchdown pass at the end to put a little distance between them and the Hokies. And James Franklin's a really good coach. I know he wasn't, beloved at the end at Penn State, but that dude won consistently. And I think they've upgraded the roster significantly in the offseason through the transfer portal, brought in a lot of Penn State guys. He's got his quarterback who played for him at Penn State. So I think, that's an interesting team. I think everybody else on that schedule, except for Notre Dame, is a game that Miami should be favored to win.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They definitely should be favored to win. All right. What else are we expecting on the portal news? What do you like that's already happened?
Well, they added Conrad Hussey today, who is a very talented kid out of St. Thomas Aquinas originally, and signed with Florida State, had an issue at Florida State, left there, played for Oregon State last year. You're always looking for veteran depth at certain positions, right? You lose some quality guys in the defensive backfield, and it's always good to get veteran type guys to come in here to sort of add more depth to that position. But and then Cooper Barkate, the other receiver from Duke, the number one receiver for them, the fact that they could add him here. I think the one area we all look at and say, man, it would have been nice if you would have been able to find somebody is left tackle. So you don't have to throw the freshman out there right away. You could buy him a little bit of time. But look, Miami's proven, right, with Francis Mauigoa and others, that freshmen could come in and play right away. So I think, that's the one little area I look at and I say, man, it would have been nice to get some more veteran help at one of those tackle spots.
So Luke Nickel will be the backup this year, and then it kind of works out because this is the plan, right? Keep him and marinate him for 2 years and then get him ready. So maybe next year they may not be portal chasing a big-time quarterback. Maybe they portal chase a guy that can back up, that has experience. But I would imagine that this is the year where Luke Nickel gets in to play some in routes and things like that, and he starts to get even closer to being groomed for the next step next year. Is that what the plan is, you think?
I certainly think Luke Nickel would like to, be more involved and play more than he did his freshman year. I talked to him at media day, and I could tell he was really itching and just sort of like wanting the opportunity to start at Miami and to play right now as a second-year player. But I think, we'll have to see. I mean, this is the era of the transfer portal. Quarterbacks get in all the time, and Menso is obviously just going to be here for the 1 year before he goes pro. And
right.
So, I mean, you would think Luke Nickel would want to wait around, but I also know how these kids are. And from talking to him at media day, I know he's really itching to play. And so maybe, Miami's going to have to blow some teams out this year and make sure that he and Darian Coleman get on the field.
Yeah, but that's I would imagine that if he is the future, they're going to have blowout games. So, okay, let's see the kid then, and then that's when he knows I'm the next guy. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when we know he's the next guy too. On top of all of that, in other words, you cannot go into next year and Luke Nickel doesn't play at all. That's stupid. So
Right.
you've got to find a way. If he's really your future, this year will also tell us not only that Darian Mensah was the guy, but that Luke Nickel is the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think in an ideal situation, that's the way things play out. But I also think in college football today, with how quickly players move, you have to be ready for whatever the situation calls for. And I think the good thing for Miami is they're going to continue to recruit the position well. Darian Coleman, I think, is a guy who has the talent to play at a Power 4 school and start potentially here at Miami. So if Luke Nickel wants to take off because he's tired of waiting, or maybe Darian Coleman passes him on the depth chart at some point in the next year, then Miami goes with Darian Coleman and they find other guys in the portal and they work. That's the way it works now, man.
Okay.
Every year it's a year-to-year build.
All right. I'd like to see him get a guy and keep him for a couple of years at least. So there's a little continuity and a little better flow to the entire process. All right. What are you working on the Athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, obviously we're following this Mensah story and have something on it as soon as it becomes official that he's done and signed and in class here at Miami. And then we'll have plenty on the transfer portal, winners and losers. I think Miami's going to make my my top 6 for winners. There's some teams that they took from that are definitely going to make the loser list. So that'll be coming out on Thursday, and that's what I'm working on right now.
And folks, don't forget Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. Does not matter. And also online, doesn't matter where you live in the country. If you get over $99, you will also get free shipping besides getting the 10% off. So make sure you use it when you go online at caneswear.com, or, of course, when you go in person at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Manny, we'll catch up on Friday, my friend. Appreciate you.
Good talking to you as always.
You got it. Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We are back with the man, the myth, the legend. That is Steve Calabro, baby.
Big O.
General Mangler here at Hialeah Park. By the way, we got a little bit of a bargain. Seattle down 4.5 now. I liked it yesterday at 5.5. I bet it today at 4.5.
I got to tell you, I think they're going to win by a touchdown.
Easy.
And, I think New England will give them a battle in the first quarter, first 2 quarters. But I think Seattle wins. I think the defense in Seattle is unbelievable. And, we have to talk to Big O. Sam Darnold. Is he starting to build a little?
I laid the money on Seattle.
No, but I'm saying, how about Sam Darnold? Are you starting to believe
I got to give him some love. He's playing well. And he's played in the tougher division, in the toughest division, in the tougher conference. So I got to give him a lot of love.
Well, listen, not that your skepticism wasn't unwarranted.
No. I mean, there's tons of us that don't believe in Sam Darnold. I mean, there's still some going, don't worry, he'll screw it up in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But the problem is that Drake May has done nothing in the passing game.
In the last 2 games, 3 games.
3 games.
Yeah.
The entire playoffs, he's done nothing in the passing game. And so they've lived off the running game and the defense and special teams. And they did again in that game. If he didn't have legs, they don't win the game. They won the game on his legs.
But what have we proven, though, in the NFL? You got to have a dual threat.
And you got
Drake May not throwing, but at least he's running. He's got a couple third downs. He's had 4 or 5 third downs that were critical.
I think the Rams lost because they didn't have the better team. That's all. It's not Matt Stafford can't move, but he can throw better than all of them.
He can ball it when he throws. Now,
man, when he throws beautiful passes,
it's unbelievable. But
he's when you have those kind of guys, you're all right. But you got to have one of those kind of guys that are pinpoint accurate. He's accurate, man.
You know what else is beautiful? You know what else is very beautiful? His passing, but Cartier watches that were given away.
There you go.
On the 14th.
I like
Come on, you and your wife. I was saying you and your girl. Shame on me.
She's my girl.
She's your girl.
Same
but
thing.
I know, but that would
She's
imply
everything.
something that maybe that is we know is not
it's all
true.
the same. She's my girl.
You and
She's
your
my girl.
girl, your wife, you bring her in for a Cartier
She's
watch.
my girl. You're not my girlfriend, right?
Girl, she's your girl.
She's my
She's
girl.
your woman. She's your woman. And February.
My wench.
No,
she's my
not.
wench.
No, she's your woman.
Yo, wench, come here. We're going to Hialeah. Go win them Cartier watches.
Twice. We got 2 shots at it.
2 shots.
The 14th and the 28th.
I'll bring both wenches.
No. At any rate, let's talk about real wrenchy kind of guys, okay?
Uh-huh.
So can I just all the sports media is talking about, Seattle and the Rams, and it was a great game, and 4-point game. No, it wasn't a 4-point game. Can I just express that the last half hour of the game, the last 15, 20 minutes of the game, I had a hard time watching it. I was visibly angry because I witnessed something that I just detest. When you're a kid,
stupidity.
Well, stupidity and lack of sportsmanship, but nobody's talking about it. They're talking about how good Sam Darnold did. Thank God, he should get a little accolades. He should get it, and they're talking about the game and and Matthew Stafford did really good in the defense. But the game was really an 11-point game, and Rick, who spells his name R-I-Q. Yeah, but they say him Rick. They call it Rick.
Yeah, Reek, not Rick.
Reek. I mean, come on, R-I-Q.
Reek.
Yeah, Reek. Okay, Reek. R-I-Q, right?
Reek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Name your next kid Reek. But anyhow, so R-I-Q, Rick Wallen decides to be the classic NFL jerk off.
Yeah.
At the end, 4th and 12, you hold Matthew Stafford, a bona fide Hall of Famer. You hold him. You're gonna win. Now it's the third quarter. And you're like, we really have subdued him. But now so if there's a thing about your favorite, you have a favorite NFL player?
Marino.
Okay, Dan Marino, right? I have a least favorite NFL player, Rick Wallen. Okay, Reek Wallen, okay?
Yeah.
Reek Wallen. Because what does he proceed to do? He makes a good play. Then he talks shit with his teammates. If you watch the video, okay, talk with your teammates. Okay,
right,
let's
that's
go.
where you're supposed to.
Come on, guys, we kicked their ass. We kicked that. Then he walks by the referee.
Yeah, the referee
as close as you and I are right now. He walks by him and he tees off for an extenuated amount of time,
30 seconds.
Whatever, 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds is too long. 10 seconds is extenuated. It's 20 or 30
He
seconds.
might have gotten away with it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds he would have got away with it.
But once the referee saw it, he just kept going.
He wouldn't stop.
And then all the guys in the sidelines are like, yo, man. They're looking at the ref yo. And then he finally throws it.
Right, he throws it. Now, if you continue to watch that, Reek Wallen goes over to his sidelines. A rookie starts getting in his face and saying, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
And Reek decides to double down and get in the rookie's face. The rookie was right, Reek. You were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
If I was the owner and/or general mangler of that team, I would quietly say this. I'd bring my general manager in and say, listen, just get a replacement for that son of a bitch, Reek Wallen, right? I don't care if it takes you 2 months, 2 years. As soon as you do, trade that mother away. Because if he does it again, I'm going to have a meltdown. Yeah, I'm going to have a heart attack. If I was the owner of that team.
And he had a mediocre year, and he's kind of lived off of his rookie year. He came out of University of Texas San Antonio, which is a small school. That's where Larry Coker was, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Texas and San Antonio.
I believe.
I knew he was.
I believe maybe 4 years ago, Coker might have still been there. He might have been the coach 4 years ago. It might have been 4 or 5 years ago where he left, and not that long after that. But anyway, his first year he had 7 interceptions.
Fresh rookie year.
Rookie year, and then it's gone. And then it's no.
He's athletic.
No, it's gone downhill since.
You got.
So I think he had 1 this year. He had 3 the year before, but it's gone down. And I think he had 2 the year after. He had 7. So he hasn't had he hasn't been great since the first year. And doing this probably puts him on some kind of thin ice, but they're probably not that loaded that they can just say
they can't get rid of him right away.
Right away. But but don't be surprised if it's what I tell you that in the off season there is a change, because he has never lived up to his rookie year where it was like sick. He had 7 interceptions and he was never able to do that again. And then you do this in the NFC Championship game where you drop an interception earlier, then you commit the stupid penalty on 4th and 12 to give them the first down, and then you give up the touchdown on the following play.
So to continue the story, the next play, hats off to Stafford, Matthew Stafford, and the OC for calling that play and completing the play.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah, he's wide open. Well, he's not wide open, but Puka makes a great catch, and it's a touchdown in your face.
Yeah. It's just those two guys are impossible to carry. Jigba and Puka are impossible to cover.
Jigba's amazing. Jigba had a great game.
They're both amazing.
Yeah, and Puka's a little bigger and stronger.
Right. It's two different kinds.
Two kinds of.
It's twitchy athleticism and then a physical
monster,
athletic guy. That it's just different ways of attacking you because Jigba's very twitchy. He's so fast, so fluid and athletic out there. It's just really hard to stay with him. You know what I mean? So it's just impressive.
Going along the lines of, I love to talk about what everybody else is not talking about, right? I mean, it's good to talk about what they're talking about for a brief moment, but there's another story. It's kind of a little more positive story. And it's, being that we're sitting here in Miami-Dade County, it's actually even cooler. And that was, I think his name was Robert Leonard III.
Oh, yes. You're talking about the UM kid that got the block.
The UM kid, think about it. The UM kid, he's last Sunday, not this past Sunday, last Sunday, he was on his couch watching the game, his team play.
Yeah, he's a practice squad guy.
He's a practice squad game, but last Sunday, he wasn't at practice and he wasn't at the game. He was on his couch watching the game. 2 days ago on the game, it's the fourth quarter. There's 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He was called up the night before. Yeah. So that means when he woke up the day before the game, he was like, I'm a practice squad game guy. Okay. But what did that guy do? He blocks the field goal. I mean, ever so slightly. It's like a YouTube. You got to look at the YouTube because you got to see it the second time where his pinky and his ring finger just sort of hit the ball, just like maybe by an inch, and the ball goes off misdirected. That got Robert Leonard III, Robert Leonard II, and the first, and all the Robert Leonard family should be very proud of that guy.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, that is a story and a half. Think about that. If he
good story for
hopefully it propels him. Maybe
he's in his second year.
Hopefully it propels him into a career. Yeah. I mean, he's tall, he's strong, he's athletic. He got up there. He wasn't just putting his hand up. He was jumping.
And again, good job by the Patriots, where they had a young guy that was ready, and they called him, and he performed and contributed.
It's about the organization. Right?
Always
the organization.
That's why they bounced back already so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, they went through 2 bad years, but they have a great coach. No, I know
it's nothing
when you've had 20 out of 25.
Yeah, you go on for
are the Dolphins going undefeated this year?
Yeah, you go on for 2 decades and you have a speed bump. You have a speed bump for a couple of years and you get back on track. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's awesome.
Yeah, they now. So
awesome.
who do you forget the pick sports bet wise? We're certainly going to give the picks, and I've said it 100 times. I think Seattle, but who do you want to win? I just forget.
No, I want Seattle to win.
I want Sam Darnold.
I want Seattle and Sam Darnold to win. Yeah. Definitely.
I think
New England's won enough. I don't know. But anyway, they're not winning. They're not winning unless Sam Darnold becomes Sam Darnold, and he starts to throw interceptions left and right.
So he's still doubting.
Because we know
he's still doubting.
He's got more of the old Sam Darnold in him than we know of the new Sam Darnold. So the new Sam Darnold should win the Super Bowl. But the only way they lose is if he becomes the old Sam Darnold.
That's true.
That's really the only way. Seattle's not going to lose this game unless they turn it over. They're the better team.
Well, there could be,
this is the best defense that New England's going to face, and they can't pass against everybody else.
Yeah, Drake
in
May's,
the AFC.
Drake
and
May's
the
going to have.
AFC is not that good, although Denver does have a hell of a defense. Denver has the equivalent of what they just faced.
Yeah. But Drake May is going to have his hands full. Drake May's going to have his hands full throwing that ball. Now the thing
that's
is
why New England's going to lose.
But Seattle has a little bit of they got to see something in this championship game. If you can stop him from passing and just somehow contain how many yards he can run for, so he doesn't run for 3rd and 7 and get a first. Yeah, May.
Well, yeah.
Then you got forget it. It's lights out.
It's something that they didn't have to worry about against the Rams.
Yeah.
You don't worry about a running quarterback there.
Right,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
But they have 2 running backs and they have tight ends and everything else. So, the Rams will kill you with everything else. That's the key.
Listen,
if he's going to be a statue, give him tight ends, give him running backs, give him receivers, and that's what Matthew Stafford has.
Well, you're talking about killing it. Look at this. The Hialeah Park Poker Room, $500 high hands from 12 to 2, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes.
And then from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. every 30 minutes, $1,000. $1,000, Sean.
One
All you have to do is
Samsung.
You should just play a few hands and see if you can get yourself a high hand. They're $1,000. I mean, come on now. This is between the Cartier watches downstairs in February, the $250,000 chance to win every Saturday in January, the high hands of 500 or 1,000, the action. Oh, by the way, we're not even talking about. Let me tell you something.
Hey, by the way, when you gave out the gold, did anyone take the gold?
They took the gold, but not the Bitcoin.
They did take the gold.
Yeah.
Gold's over 5,000.
Yeah, now they have more. We had they got us.
What do you remember what gold was? It was probably like, somewhere in the 3 area.
No, I think it was about 4,000.
It was
41 or 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's up $1,000.
So 20% he already gained on gold
just by coming to Hialeah Park
and just sitting on it.
Well, I don't know what he sat on it.
I hope I hope he sat on it and he's gaining the 20%.
I mean, he might have went and
he might have cashed it in. You're right. He might have.
They took the SUV. They took we give him a cash option, and the cash option was pretty healthy.
Yeah, but you told me she liked the.
It was like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
she took that one. That was a woman that said, "I gotta have that."
That was a beautiful SUV.
I kind of like the sedan better, the Mercedes sedan.
That's fine.
I'm an SUV guy. I drive
SUV. I'm a sedan guy myself, but
I tell you,
I told you already. I'm switching SUV.
I love SUVs. I have a souped up Toyota. They call them Lexuses. That's a souped up Toyota, right? And all it is Toyota with a couple of nice, pretty options and a nice radio. It's a really cool radio. I got to tell you the truth. And the car drives nice, but I got to tell you, in a Mercedes, I like the sedan better.
Okay.
I like the sedan, but I've driven both too, and I don't know. It's I don't know if I would have taken the SUV Mercedes. Maybe we should give away an SUV Lexus.
Maybe. One of our sponsors, Lexus of Pembroke Pines.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Give me his number.
Okay.
We'll put him right out front there.
We'll
put the car right there. Lexus SUV.
When you're ready, tell me. I'll hook you up.
Anyhow, so that's what I just wanted to talk about. Let's just call it like stories in the NFL that nobody really talks about. Robert Leonard III having the play of his life. The play of his life. Guy's 23, 27, whatever he is, 23, 24, 22 years old, and he literally had the play of his life.
It's awesome.
And hats off. I would love to meet the guy to say
good for a UM kid. And today also Cam Ward got Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator. So he got himself a good offensive coordinator to help him out.
And so there's a lot. So the coaching carousel is interesting, right? The coaching carousel. Now you got
the Bills got Joe Brady, which
really,
is I wanted him for the Dolphins.
That scares me.
I don't like it.
That scares me as in the division.
If he can build a staff, we're screwed.
If he gets a good defensive coordinator, they're going to be harder than they have been.
Yes.
To beat, and also your buddy there, with the girly pants, Mike McDaniels.
Oh yeah, he went to I was about to say San Diego. Yeah, he went to the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean that's good for him, right? But now, why did he turn down the interviews or the head coaching opportunities?
Well, the Browns, everybody's been turning down the Browns because they asked for a mental psychological test. They ask you to write an essay. They do all kinds of wacky shit to hire the person because they go through all kinds of psychological and analytical things. They don't just necessarily sit down with somebody, look them in the eye, and look at their philosophical conversation and go through it and see what you agree and don't agree.
So who's going to coach him?
Would they have? Yeah, that's the other thing.
He's psychologically stable.
No, yeah, he's yeah.
Have
right?
you seen his history?
Yeah. Schwartz is kind of a few sandwiches short of a picnic, and so they may end up because they've told every coach you have to keep him as your defensive coordinator, and you just can't do that. And I think part of the Dolphins thing when they were doing interviews, I don't think that Mike McDaniel got these rave reviews from people, and that kind of opened up their eyes also in this process.
Yeah.
So
at any rate, so
it's crazy.
Well, guys, just wanted to stop in and give you the two
You're the man.
two things and tell everybody come on out to Hialeah Park. Sports betting, Super Bowl coming up.
Definitely.
Loaded up.
Have a Super Bowl party here, a watch party, right?
We're going to have a watch party. And by the way,
how about next year? What are you guys going to do for the Canes next year? Because we're going for an undefeated season.
Oh, next year for the undefeated season?
Oh,
I guess we're going to have a. So should we have?
I mean, up to the playoffs. I'm just saying like this year they didn't do undefeated. They lost 2 in the regular season.
I don't know how they lost to Louisville other than 4 interceptions. But
now in hindsight, those losses are even worse.
Yeah, exactly. How did they lose?
You had no business losing to SMU and Louisville because you proved that where you belong. So stop doing that shit. And so I'm expecting an undefeated season next year. The quarterback they just got from Duke is better than the guy we just left.
He's
just left.
Considerably better.
No, he's better.
Yeah, he's considerably better.
He's a better athlete. He's a better passer. He's more accurate. I think they just improved. Actually, I know they're going to lose some guys. Some big guys on.
Yeah, but they look
the pass rushers. But they'll.
No,
add
what
more
about
guys.
Tony?
Yeah, Malachi Tony's
Malachi, is he coming back?
Yeah.
But he went into the portal.
No, it's not true. He never went into the portal.
Oh, okay.
Never really entered the portal.
That
was just
here's a guy
BS.
He's special.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's Tyreek-like.
Because I know you guys are big on UM here. I know that Mr. Brunetti is a huge UM fan.
Have you seen the schedule? So there's 3 Friday games and there's a Thursday game early in the season, right?
Right.
So why not have a watch party on Friday and Thursday? You got to have it. Now, I know that Cristobal doesn't like the Friday and Thursday games.
I know.
He's not.
But that's kind of wacky that they gave. I think it's because the conference is so weak and unsexy that you're the only sexy team
that's playing on Friday.
And so, hey, we're going to put you on Friday because it's going to, because the TV controls all this shit.
Yeah, it's money.
It's not really ACC. It's the TV sitting down with the ACC going, hey, look, man.
You want to go on the air, you got to give us something that's going to sell.
Yeah, you got to give us something that's going to sell.
We're not putting 2 shit teams together. You got to put Miami.
And by the way, you lost to Louisville on a Friday night.
I
Wacky shit happens on Friday night games. So now you got 3 of them.
But
make sure you handle them all the right way.
The Friday game is the first game of the season.
Yeah, it's FAMU.
No, but
it's Stanford.
But it's
Stanford, FAMU.
It's the first game of the year, I think.
Stanford. It's Stanford.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
FAMU's not even that's pop.
Yeah, but neither is Stanford. Stanford's no good anymore.
No, but it shouldn't matter Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the first game of the season.
No, it shouldn't.
Because it's not like you had a game prior.
It shouldn't matter either way when you're the Canes.
I know. That's true.
When you're the Canes, it shouldn't matter at all. You should have kicked Louisville's ass. Is what you should have done. You should have gone 12-0. And this year, I'm expecting 12-0. That's why I'm telling you guys that. That might be something really cool for you guys.
Watch parties every game.
You got to have great bars downstairs.
Yeah, watch parties every game. We got to go with it.
Like you got a great atmosphere. People can go down, and then in commercial breaks, they can go play the machines. You've got tables now downstairs.
And by the way, bet the
and
game.
And food and all that downstairs.
You can bet the game, but you know what you can't do? I'm going to tell your viewers, you can't bet player props in college in the state of Florida.
Right.
So like I was gonna bet. In the middle of the game, I was looking for Carson Beck to throw an interception, and they won't let you.
Wow!
Thank God, because there was some crap happening in basketball. Though.
Yeah.
The bad stuff.
Right.
That was bad stuff. It makes real bad for the. Yeah, because so irregular sports betting, right? So guys are greedy, right? So they do this bad thing, right? And then, normally I bet $100. Then all of a sudden I mysteriously put down $50,000 on the game. Yeah, it's probably something suspicious, right? 10,000 would be. You should investigate. You know what I mean. And so that was, but player props are bad, especially interception.
Yeah,
especially interception, because think about it. You're a player and you're on the take, right? Now your team's up. Shit, I'll throw an interception now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's so
definitely.
bad. That's what's so bad. But anyhow, that doesn't happen.
All right, Sean, give me a 1 minute break. All right,
it's all good.
1 minute. Back with more here from Hialeah Park.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Thank you for hanging in there. Welcome back. Final segment of the show here on Le Programme as we get ready to wrap it up. By the way, the schedule is out for the Canes, and the one thing that I will tell you, it's an easy schedule. They have one difficult game, and that's Notre Dame. And to me, you're about to sign Darian Mensah. You're about to bring his best receiver. You already have Malachi Toney. Your offense, I think, is actually going to be better next year. Mark Fletcher will be back. They're going to add, they already have some amazing draft picks of recruits that are coming in. I think their line is going to be monstrous again next year. I think it's a better team. You start off with Stanford, then FAMU, Wake Forest, Central Michigan, at Clemson, FSU, Pitt, at UNC. Ooh, that's going to be fun, beating down Belichick. Then November 7th, that's your toughest game at Notre Dame. And I say it's going to be tough because it carries a lot of the burden of everything that went on in Notre Dame last year. really, that their bugaboo for their entire year was losing to Miami. Losing to Miami screwed them royally. And so they're going to want revenge. And they're going to want to ruin Miami's season and say, okay, well, we beat them. So now if there's any bullshit, we're going to get in ahead of them, right? That's what's going to happen. So Miami, that's the game that is the only challenge on the game. But I expect them to win it. Okay? Enough of this shit, dude. Let's go. Let's start. If you want to be the Canes, then be the Canes. This is not a difficult schedule. Then you take on Duke. Then you take on Virginia Tech and BC. 3 straight home games. You're fine, dude. You're fine. I mean, you better run the table. Don't give the committee any excuses. Don't make it a discussion in the country. None of that. You got in last time. Don't always count on that because I've seen it in the past and you've gotten burned. So don't lose the Notre Dame game. But Clemson and FSU, give me a break. Beat their asses down, okay? Neither one of them should be competing with you. And in fact, Mohamed Torre just got, Steve left and we couldn't talk about his Jersey guy getting his 8th year of eligibility. Mohamed Torre is the first guy to have kids, and his kids are going to have kids during his playing time in college. Mohamed Torre is the first guy to collect AARP in college. Mohamed Torre is going to be the first guy to file his retirement papers with the government while in college. It's amazing. He's got 8 years now of eligibility, and he's working on 8 more. I mean, this is what you want to do in the NIL era. Stretch it out as much as possible. Gain as much money every year on the NIL because you don't know if you'll make it even into the NFL. I like it, bro. Mohamed Torre and family, right? I mean, I would imagine, right? It's like a Ted Ginn family at this point. When you draft Mohamed Torre, you draft a family. Kids. You know, it's kind of like, it's interesting. You know, that I heard that for Mohamed Torre in the locker room, they have a rocking chair. Yeah. So, there you go. Mohamed Torre apparently looks for all the blue light specials on the road. I mean, you know, he's old. He's old. And it's interesting because Mario Cristobal calls Mohamed Torre sir. I mean, it's his elder. What are you going to do? Mohamed Torre has been around a long, long time. He, the United States, and Italy have had relations for thousands of years. Ask the orangutan. Anyway. Let me do a little music here on the lighter side. All right. Let's start off with musicians celebrating birthdays today on the 27th of January. Who was born on the 27th of January? We will start off with Mike Patton from Faith No More, born in 1968. Midgie Drummond from Curiosity Killed the Cat, born in 1964. Margot Timmons, singer with the Cowboy Junkies, born in 1961. Happy birthday. Gillian Gilbert, keyboardist with the Inadequates and New Order, born in 1961. Yannick Robert Gers, guitarist and the 6th member of Iron Maiden. Seth Justman, keyboardist, vocalist with the Jay Giles Band. Let's see what else. Brian Downey, drummer and founding member of Thin Lizzy, born in 1951. Nedra Talley, singer with the all-girl group The Ronettes, born in 1946. Nick Mason with Pink Floyd. He's the only member in the band to play on every album since the formation in 1965. It's pretty good. He studied architecture at London's Regent Street Polytechnic, where he teamed up with fellow students Roger Waters, the racist bastard, Rob Kloss, and Richard Wright in 1964 to form Pink Floyd's predecessor, Sigma 6. Mason is a keen auto racing enthusiast and has taken part in many racing events, such as the French 24 Hours of Le Mans. And in 2018, he formed a new band, Nick Mason's Sourful of Secrets, to perform music from Pink Floyd's early years. So happy birthday to Nick Mason. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. Although Roger Waters I no longer respect anymore. He's a piece of shit in my eyes. Jimmy Bond. I'll tell you what I really feel like one day. The bass player with Frank Zappa, born in 1933 on this date. Let's see who else. And that is it for musicians. Now we move over to famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they are no longer with us. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, born on this date in 1756. What an artist. What an artist. The captain of the Titanic, Edward Smith, fantastic gentleman. He really knows his way. Born in 1850. NFL Hall of Fame member Art Rooney, born in 1901. Musician Elmore James, born in 1918. Actress Donna Reed, born in 1921. Actor James Cromwell, born in 1940. He is 86 today. Bless him. Actor John Witherspoon, born in 1942. Funny man. Rest in peace. Let's see who else. Mikhail Baryshnikov, the ballet dancer, the Russian ballet dancer, right? 48. He is 78 today. Chief Justice of the United States, John Roberts, born in 55. He is 71 today. Actress Mimi Rogers, born in 56. She is 70. News commentator, sports commentator Keith Olbermann, born in 59. He is 67. Football and Hall of Fame member, broadcasting Hall of Fame member Chris Collinsworth, born in 59. He's 67. It's a hell of a receiver in his own right, by the way. Who else is celebrating? Actor Bridget Fonda, born in 64. She's 62. It's amazing how much she changed, huh, Bridget Fonda? Wow. Let's see who else. Comedian actor Patton Oswalt, born in 69. He's 57. Actor Guillermo Rodriguez, born in 71. He's 55. Musician Matt Sanchez from the American Authors, born in 86. He's 40. Actor Devin Druid, born in 98. He is 28. And musician Bailey Zimmerman, born in 2000. He is 26. Those are famous birthdays. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
We have a couple. Elise Ashton turns 40, and Brooklyn Barlow, he turns 28 on January 27th, 2026.
All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlinks donation. You can also send in your questions, comments, and insults. By the way, Bitcoin is now shot up over 89,000 right now. It is up Almost 2%. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? I know you're all wondering. Well, we start off in 61 where Frank Sinatra played a benefit show for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at Carnegie Hall in New York City in 61. In 67, the Beatles signed a new 9-year contract with EMI Records. Something tells me they won't live out that contract. I don't know. It's just something there. Just saying. In 71, David Bowie arrived in the U.S. for the first time, but was not allowed to play anywhere due to work permit restrictions. In 73, Stevie Wonder had his first #1 hit in a decade with Superstition from the Talking Book album. What a great song. God. In 86, Public Image Limited released their 5th studio album. It features the singles Rise and Home. In 88, James Brown was charged with possession of marijuana and unlawful use of a firearm when police were called to his South Carolina home. In 90, Soundgarden became the first grunge band to make Billboard albums charts when Louder Than Love showed up at number 168. It peaked at 108 in March. Let's see who else. In 94, Oasis made their live debut in London at the Water Rats, a live music venue in King's Cross. In 2012, Lana Del Rey released her 2nd studio album, Born to Die. It features the singles Video Game, Born to Die, Blue Jeans, National Anthem, Summertime Sadness, and Dark Paradise. I'm your summertime sadness. Need something to keep you cool. Yeah, I'm your summertime sadness. Need something to keep you cool. Let's see what else. And that is it, I think. Oh, in 2015, Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne were given songwriting credits on Sam Smith's hit, Stay With Me, because of the similarities to the 89 track, I Won't Back Down. And in 2018, Huey Lewis lost his hearing before a concert in Dallas. He did the show singing out of pitch and was later diagnosed with Meniere's disease, a rare condition that causes hearing to come and go. That's terrible, man. You can't do what you love. Let me see if there's any birthdays that were missed on the other list, that sometimes this list will have it and the other one didn't. G.E. Smith, former lead guitarist for Hall & Oates and leader of the Saturday Night Live band from 85 to 95. He is 74 today. He was also, if I remember, part of David Bowie's band too. Let's see. Country singer and producer Tracy Lawrence is 58. Tricky is 58. And that is it. There you go. That's what happened today in Musica history. All right. Oh, man. All right. Big O Show. I think the Dolphins are doing what they can. It looks to me that the Dolphins are a lot better off with the old management gone. I don't know. We'll see. Was it the management before that and the management before that and the management before that and the management? You know what I mean? So it's not like they've gotten any management right for decades. So, we'll see. We'll see what they got. Let's see. Goofball made the playoffs twice. Okay. Just saying. We'll see what happens over the next 5 years or 4, whatever half is here. All right. I think Jimmy made it 3 times. Wanstead made it a few times also. I mean, whatever. Are we better off? Not really. They didn't accomplish shit. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Big O, if you like surfers and surfing, you need to come up to my neck of the woods, Melbourne, Cocoa Beach. Yeah, I know that in the but dude, I'm not watching surfing at Cocoa Beach. That's not Nazaré. You need to go watch those videos. You need to go watch surfing in Portugal, my man. It's a whole different ball game. Okay, that's like your life is on the line there constantly. You should see that. That's that's why I would travel across the world to go see that because that's impressive. So yeah, I'm cool for going to a surfing competition because I love to watch that. I admire the hell out of surfers. I think they are supremely talented. By the way, I want to ask this right now. Alex Honnold, is he the greatest pressure athlete in the history of mankind? Who's the greatest pressure athlete of mankind? Tell me. It's got to be Alex Honnold, right? Like race car drivers put their lives on the line, but they've got a great chance of surviving most accidents. Right? As an athlete. There's not a lot of, on a football field, you can get paralyzed, you can get severely hurt and all that kind of stuff, but you don't really die. This guy makes one mistake and he's dead. D-E-D, dead. Think about that. I mean, there's pressure when it's Michael Jordan. There's pressure when it's Tom Brady or Joe Montana, or there's pressure, whatever it is. We've seen pressure and we've seen Dwayne Wade game 3 against the Mavericks. And from there on out, and that's pressure. I get that. Like this guy is the greatest pressure athlete we have ever seen in our lives. For him to put his life on the line for 1,667 feet in the air, because at any moment, one misstep, one misgrab, whatever, you're done, you're toast, you're history. You cannot make up for it. I mean, we got to go back to the flying Walindas or some shit like that. You're going to have to go to tightrope walkers or something from back in the day that used to do it, walking across or something like that. Evil Knievel or something. That's a pressure athlete right there because, dude, you land wrong, he broke every bone in his body. What isn't the saying he broke every bone except his pinky or something like that? Some stupid crap like that. I don't know. He broke so many bones. I mean, it's hard to think about because the other kind of pressures that you feel when you fail, it's nothing. Like I was just talking about surfers. Okay, when you're surfing a 70, 80, 100-foot wave, yeah, dude, if you don't fall right and that shit smashes you right into the reef, yeah, you could die right there. You're putting your life on the line. But there's a good chance you can also survive. And you can maybe be hurt or something. There's no surviving this. There's no second guessing. There's no making up for anything. You make a mistake, you are done. Like I was thinking about that. I not even a matador or anything, because you're not really getting hit by the bull. Eventually, if you're a matador, you're pretty good at avoiding it. It's just this is probably the greatest pressure athlete I have ever seen in my life. I don't know who else, because it's not like you're pitching in the World Series or you're playing in the Super Bowl or you've got to nail a putt to win the Masters or something. None of that means shit compared to this. You can fail in all of that, and what's the worst they'll do? Make a meme about you? Say that you didn't get it done? Who cares? Here, if you fail, you're dead. You won't even get to see the memes. You won't get to hear them talk about you. You won't even see the video. It's crazy, dude. Like that has got to be the ultimate pressure athlete in the history of mankind. Is there another one? Can we think of one? An athletic endeavor like this that puts your life on the line this way? And in 90 minutes, the guy scaled the whole thing. And every second of that, he could have died. Except, let's say the second floor down, maybe he lives, okay? Well, once you get to the third and fourth floors, you're probably dying. Or crippled at least, or whatever, vegetable or whatever. But that is, man. I thought about that, and it's like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this in all of sport. Because it is a sport. You know, it is an athletic endeavor because it takes some serious athleticism to do what he did. And serious concentration like nothing else. It's got to be so razor sharp. It's perfection. That's the concentration that you need, that you must be perfect. Or you're dead. Wow. Impressive. All right, tomorrow we're going to be at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. We'll be there at 11 or 12 there? 11. We broadcast at 11 a.m. We'll be hanging out with Alan and Eric and all the great people out there. And if you happen to be in the area, in the Pembroke Pines area, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Come on by and say hi. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We thank David Furones. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank Steve Calabro. We thank Mr. Brunetti. Without Mr. Brunetti, none of this happens. And I know he's happy about the Canes. He is a massive Canes fan. So I know that this place is happy with the Canes. That's why I asked him if you guys are going to do some stuff next year, because this is a good place to watch the Canes, because they've got some killer bars downstairs. You got the TVs, comfortable. You're in a casino. It's fun. And non-smoking, too, on top of all of that. All right, we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.